In India, substance use is deeply intertwined with social location, influencing behaviors and access to care. By examining these connections, we can better address the challenges and support communities in need. Let's work towards a healthier future by acknowledging the complexities and fostering informed conversations. Vidya Lead Academy presents Addiction and Social Location. Professor Nikhil Sarah in conversation with Akansha and Sunil Vatsyayan.
Is about social stigma related to social location. So in social location, what I mean is if you are from a certain background of caste or tribe, and specifically caste and tribe in India, because these are the most marginalized sections of our society in India, because they come from this hierarchy of who will be upper, who will be lower, and there is an hierarchy of what kind of jobs they will do, right? There is a social stigma against lower caste that they are the ones who supply, or they are the ones who are selling substances. So, and they are the ones, and because there is a cultural notion in our society that they are the dirty ones. They are doing this dirty job. They are also doing. They have nothing else to do, so that's why they are trying to sell substances. So that kind of social stigma brings. But supply is not always made for a demand. A demand is always there sometimes, and that supply has to be taken care of, right? So it is not. It is the society very easily tries to first blames that these are the ones who are getting substances in the market. One, two. The whole problem is then how you perceive these lower caste population, basically, right? So one, they are obviously blamed that this mostly happens in these families because they belong to these castes, and इनके family में तो ऐसे ही होता है, and things like that, which we hear very generally when we do caste workshops of different kinds everywhere. One thing is there, that these are the ones who bring the, like, this idea of purity runs even today, in the sense that even if they're assimilated so much in the society that we are probably unable to bifurcate who is who by looking at them, because many things have changed because of capitalism and things like that. But as soon as you get to know about the caste of a person through name, or through where they live, or through what kind of job they do, you start blaming that these people are the ones who are impairing the society per se. They are the ones who to blame that they sell substances. They are the ones who they use the most kind of substances. But there was a study in 2023 on manual scavengers that they need to do substances because the kind of job that they do. So, for example, the manual scavengers are doing are mostly in septic tanks or working with the sewer and things like that. So they are witnessing the most dirty job, and India has no rehabilitation per se of manual scavengers. They need to take these substances to, there was a study in 2023, and it is published in France, and they did this study, and they said that it is necessary for them to take substances because the kind of job they are doing. So we also try to invisibilize the kind of job lower caste are doing and how they get stuck into substance use. One, even if they are blamed for spreading substances, or they are the ones who are doing substances, we also invisibilize the fact that what is their social location. We are invisibilizing the fact that what kind of job they are doing. And it is not a hidden fact. Even from government data, you can find that even in government jobs, class 4 workers are still more than 90% are belonging to lower caste for cleaning, right? Even in India, your toilets and your sewers are still more close to 100% data is that lower caste are still doing the traditional jobs of cleaning the upper caste. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you see the city clean. You see everything is clean, everything is done. When you have started going for work, everything is done. The city is still like that as we left in the night. But who is cleaning that city? Where is all the dirt going? When you wake up, the first thing that is taken care of is the garbage. The garbage is taken. You keep it in the morning outside, and then you don't even see that person who is taking your garbage out and taking. So who is doing this? So we invisibilize lower caste so much that we also don't think about the issues they might be facing because the kind of work that they might be getting into addiction because the kind of work. And there are enough not even enough, I would say. There are only one or two studies that are trying to say that because they are stuck in this generational trauma of their work, they ultimately also take a respite in the fact that they'd rather do substance and do their work continuously, generationally, basically. And there is no rehabilitation per se of not addiction. Rehabilitation is something which is very far off. There is no rehabilitation of them from out of this generational trauma that they're facing. There's no rehabilitation of them that they can be put out from this work, or we should have, like India, in spite of right now, we because of social media and everything, we have a lot of news about how manual scavengers are dying and everything like that. But there is except one act which prevents it. But the state itself is using manual scavengers when the sewer lines break, when there is rain and the streets are flooded. Who is jumping into the sewer to clean it? The manual scavengers. The state is using manual scavengers to do it, in spite of the act that they have only passed. Right. So it is also this. We also don't see the new kind of social location of people, even if when one they are getting addiction problems, two even if they are not, and like there is so much social stigma, there is so much social humiliation for these communities that they will ultimately get into these addiction problems. And then there is the whole burden of these marginalized women, like Dalit women and tribal women, again have this emotional burden of not just having to rehabilitate the addiction victim, but also the burden of their caste, that they are stuck with this problem generationally. Right, the child will have so much emotional stuntness that my future is like this only. Right, so the amount of chaos for that woman, for the child, when they're from these certainly from these marginalized sections, is immense. It is extremely huge.